Warning, I'm pulling back the curtain and showing you everything behind the scenes. Today is Black Friday. Everybody's selling something today, but nobody's really showing you the truth. They want you to buy their next program. I want you to know right up front here, I don't want you to buy anything today. Everything that I am going to share with you today, I'm going to give you for free. And all of the things that are the links and stuff like that are things that you can get for free. I want to show you exactly how book marketing really works, what doesn't, why it works, and how it's going to work. And I'm going to do that while I'm actually showing you actual rankings of books right now. Their rankings. I just updated the pages, so technically it's about 5 minutes old, okay? But the rankings of books and showing you where they're ranking right now. No secrets, no hypes, no pitch, just a behind the scenes of how books rank, rise, and how you can be seen. Now you're going to ask me, you're going to be like, well, Steve, I don't get it. How is it? Maybe you don't know me well enough. First of all, why would you give away all that information? And second of all, who the heck are you? I have been a marketing expert for the last 40 years. February will be the actual 40-year anniversary. I've had a syndicated radio show. Actually, next week we're going to celebrate our 11th anniversary for the radio show, and I've helped more than 5,000 people with their books, writing, publishing, but most importantly, marketing their books to bestseller. We have a 100% success making books bestsellers, and we want to help you. And what I'm going to do today to help you is just purely pull back the curtain, reveal behind all the myths and all the BS that's out there of all the things that everybody's telling you. And I am just going to simply show you exactly how things work. I want to talk to you about how rankings are moving, your visibility grows, all of those kind of things, so that you can really truly know and understand. And then because, just talking about it isn't enough for me, I want to, throughout the entirety of this, generously offer you a whole bunch of books for free. No cost. My only requirement for being on this list is that the book be free. Now, I will quantify that just a little bit. There are 2 books on the list. At the very top of the list, Willie's Never Stop Winning 2.0 and my 2.0 version of Bestsellers Only the Beginning. Those 2 books are 99 cents. That's very strategically on purpose. Feel free to skip it. I am not asking you to give me your 99 cents. And if you really want the book, message me and tell me, hey, can I get that book for free? I absolutely will send you the ebook for free. It's just part of the whole marketing strategy. And one of the things that I'm frankly going to, reveal to you today. So, come on along with me on the trip. Let's really go behind the curtain. In this particular case, I'm not telling you pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. I'm literally telling you, okay, here we go. We are going to very specifically look at exactly how book marketing works. And in order to do that, I'm not even going to be on screen most of the time. Most of the time, I'm going to be showing you actual rankings of books. Okay, so with that said, I am going to share my screen. Hi, One Piece. Glad to have you here with us. And hi, Christopher. I see you there too. I am just going to share my screen here with you. And I want us to move on to the whole concept of how does marketing really work when you're talking about a book. Now, I can tell you from experience that most of the people that you're going to run into, most of them are going to, promote something that a year ago, 2 years ago for sure, would have been probably what any of us would have told you is the way to market your book. And that was to simply, put your book, create a whole landing page, give your book away for free, or the print book free plus shipping. Um, and the whole concept behind that, like I said, I'm giving you all the reels. The whole concept behind that was, then we're going to offer you hey, let me give you an explainer video or a workbook that goes with it. And that's only $7 if you get that. And then, hey, if you liked that, maybe what you really like is the course I created that goes along with this. And that's only like $50. So, you want to get that too. And then if you did that, hey, since you really liked that, what if, you could have one-on-one, or you could be in a group with me and other people as you're going through the book. We're going to go through the book one chapter at a time each week for the next 10 weeks or the next 8 weeks or the next 12 weeks or whatever. And I'm going to answer all your questions. I'm going to walk you through the specifics of the teachings. Sounds pretty cool, right? And it does, and you sell that for anywhere from $200 to $1,000, depending on what level you're at. And that does work. There's only one problem. And I've talked about this in my lives. The one problem, and by the way, if you're looking at my screen right now, free books this weekend, and there's the list, thrivingbestsellers.com/books. You can get any of them. You can have all of them. Like I said, Bestsellers Only the Beginning and Never Stop Winning 2.0 are the only 2 books on there that have a charge. I saw one of them. It looks like possibly Slick Rock hasn't started its free day campaign yet. If you come across one of them and they're asking you for money, don't get it, okay? I'm not asking for any money. I want this to be your free day for all total freedom. And I want you to understand how it works. So there's multiple elements to Amazon. Number one is the free day. Okay, free days are a massively powerful part of your book marketing. You're allowed up to 5 free days per 3-month period, per quarter. It actually goes in exact 3 months period. That's why I said per 3-month period versus per quarter. And what happens is you should absolutely use them. Okay, that means that, so 5 times 4, that's 20 times, 20 days during the year, your book is going to be available for free. You could probably time it and do the last 5 days of that, 3-month period, and the first 5 days of the next 3-month period. Never tried doing that, but you could probably get away with doing it for 10 days for free. Okay. But here's what the free day does for you. Okay. And I've shown you Lataxion's book before. For those of you who don't remember, Justice for Mahat. The book, we looked at it yesterday. You could go back and look at yesterday's live. I don't know if I showed the ranking on it or not. It was 10 or 20, somewhere in that range. Just by moving it to free, its ranking jumped. Now, yes, it says top in Kindle store. So let's look at this, okay? I'm showing you right behind the curtains, okay? Is this really actually the book in free, or is this in paid? Okay. So Amazon, they separated out books that are free. So you see, you've got paid and you've got free. So that is in free. Okay. And the only reason why they did that, because Amazon could care less whether you paid $0 or $1 million for their book. They want to show you the real, true, actual, legit rankings of the book. The reason why they have the free day section, and the reason why they created that promotion is because, let's face it, we all like free stuff. And they found enough of a demand for books that are free that they created a whole subsection for it. And then all their categories, for the most part, there's a few of them that don't transfer over, but basically all the categories, from free are also in paid. And when you do the free day, most of the time you're going to pop out. Now, it's not always going to be that way. And you need to understand that another piece of it has to do with ongoing marketing of your book. You have to absolutely do it. One of the reasons why Lataxion's book is holding this ranking, besides the free day, is this reviews. And you're going to hear me talk a lot today about reviews, because reviews are key. Now, I want to show you this book, Rising After the Fall. This book dropped literally today. Now, here's the cool part about it. All right. Um, if you scroll down here, it doesn't show that the book has any rankings yet. I was doing some looking, and it's actually number one in a category. In fact, I've got, just so you know, I'm not telling you stories. There is, let me show you the actual page. There is the actual page. Okay, let me. I'll maximize that a little bit more. Okay, and you can see that in free under Conduct of Life and Spirituality, that book, same cover, right? Linda Varisco, Rising After the Fall, book 3 of the thing. Okay, it's number one in that category. Now, also for those of you that are interested, you're going to see us talk about Never Stop Winning, Volume 1. It's in that category. Winning with Love is in that category. And then there's a couple of the Fairy Princess books that are actually also in that category that are showing up all in that. Yeah, that's right. I kind of own the Conduct of Life and Spirituality category because I understand the SEO. You see, before you do reviews, before you do rankings, before you start doing any of those things, you need the SEO right for your book. Because Amazon ultimately is a search engine. And just like you want to get your website seen, you've got to do the descriptions, the keywords, the categories for your book the right way for them to truly rank at all, for them to be seen at all. Okay, you can write a beautifully glowing description of your book. Okay. And this is one of my, part of my Marketing 101 series, Ultimate Marketing Tool of a Lifetime. And most of that, I'm really talking about bringing your heart out into the world to make the difference that only you can make. And I also then equate with it, I talk about my sweet little doggy Mocha and how she always gets what she wants because she's so cute. Okay, she uses the power of cuteness. Here's a perfect example. Jamie's book is free. Okay, you can go and get Jamie's book for free right now, The Mindset Method. And absolutely you need to, because your mindset is how you get out of your own way in your life and your business and how you make the difference. Okay, Jamie's book, because it just started its free days today, it hasn't popped over to the because you can see this Conduct of Life and Spirituality category, right? Okay, so she's in the paid section too right now. Okay, so if we came back in a few hours because Amazon updates on an hour by hour basis, but it's about 12 to 18 hours behind in the US and 24 to 48 hours internationally. So this one's going to pop around and there will be another book in Conduct of Life and Spirituality that is another one of our ones. But you see how powerful that bringing it into free day? Because as a paid book, it's barely in the top 1,000. When it becomes a free book, just because of the nature of Conduct of Life and Spirituality. Let me pop over there again. Let me show you. Okay, this is live, so it's loading. All right. So you can see here, all right, when we go over to the free category, okay, you see there's only, in this particular category, there's only 10 books that are free today. And yes, there's 2 by our author, Rising Phoenix. There's 2 by Willie J. Technically, this one is a collaboration Willie and I did together, and Linda's book that came out today. Okay, so understanding the keywords, understanding the categories, doing the things that are necessary to be able to rank. Because if not, your book's going to languish like Jamie's book was before today. And you're going to be a place where you're going to be wishing your book was working. Okay, You want to be in the right category, but you also don't want to be in a category that everybody's in. Sure, Jamie's book could have gone into self-help under personal growth or something like that. But Jamie's book is actually a personal success and spirituality book. It's not a self-help, quote unquote, book. And by putting it in the right categories, it had a chance to rank. If this book was in, especially, we all did it. I did it with my first book too. If it was still in the self-help category, it probably wouldn't show a ranking at all. You know, you're fighting with Oprah and Tony Robbins. Okay, you can see as the books pop out, as they show up on the free list, they're going to rank. They're going to make a bestseller. Now, I hear some of you saying, it's like, Steve, isn't that kind of a little bit of a scam? It really isn't. Number one, because you need to be visible in order to be valuable. Okay, so you need to be where your people is. And before you have your people, you've got to start being where the people are. Now, many of you know I've talked about this book before. Okay, the re-release of my book, Bestseller is Only the Beginning. Okay, and that's the old cover, actually. I just updated it because it's really why your book went quiet and the 90-day human visibility system that brings you back to life. Now, I'm not suggesting you buy this book today because this book is actually 99 cents. Okay, I told you this one is one of the two. This one and Willie's book aren't free today. Okay, but I left it on here because I wanted you to see. Okay, you see this 20 reviews. Okay, and I've got some other people. I've seen the sales and they're telling me they're going to review the book, and plus I have my system for getting reviews, and this rank has gone up and stayed consistently up because of the reviews. You see, reviews, they're top of the, you know, I mean, they are the thing you need. You need your book reviewed, and then you need it consistently reviewed. This book came out in 2022. If you were scrolling down here on Amazon and you're looking at reviews and you're like, okay, well, this review was what somebody said about it December 27th of 2022. Okay. You know, and, you know, and that's a great review. And there's a couple of them here from 2022 that aren't really great reviews. And then there's a review from 2023. Okay, you see, right now, and this is part of the reason why I'm using my own system on me, because, you know, I mean, when you're looking at it, you're like, oh, nobody's read this book since 2022. It can't be that interesting. Can't be visible. It can't be that popular. It may have a ranking, but maybe that's some kind of scam. You see, if I just showed you this book is number 4, and I don't have the reviews to back it up, you might still be like, I don't know. Don't know if I trust that or not. Okay. Now, having me be interviewed by Amy and Jamie Honey and talk about that, and that was back before. That's about a year and a half old. I should talk to them and see if they want to interview me about the book again. You know, all of those things add credibility. But what really drives the algorithm's momentum more than anything else is this little number right here. And that's reviews. Okay, it's not even so much, because the truth of the matter is legit reviews are going to drive more reviews. The more reviews you get, the more that other people are going to want to review, and they're going to want to put their 2 cents in. Okay, and that also means then that you're going to get people who are going to give you negative reviews. You can see, I'm not hiding it from you. Okay, I have a 2-star review on this book. Okay, and based on percentages wise, it looks like I probably have 4 or 5 of them that are 3-star reviews. Most of them are 4-star reviews, and then I have 3 or 4 of them that are 5-star reviews. Okay, that's the nature of it. A real book, sometimes people are going to say not, you know, the best stuff about it, and that's okay. It hurts. I'm not lying to you. Okay, but it is the way that it's going to work. And so, you know, you take the lumps and you move on. One of my favorite books, and you all know it is My Dear Sweet Romeo, the Suicidal Parakeet. Okay. Both of the Romeo books. This particular one is the first one in the series. And it's really just me bringing out my snarky wit. But you can see that it's prompting you. You could get, book 2 in the series in there too. You see how making a series makes the books come together. You can buy them as a set. You can do all those kind of things. But again, do you see the difference in the ranking here? Yes, it's working in free days, but no, it doesn't have any reviews. So what would that make you feel? Okay. Whereas if we pop over to Romeo book 2, you see it has 6 reviews. Okay. You see that it's ranking even higher. It's just so important that you understand how these things work so that you can have your book really show up for you. Now, I could go on and on. I've already been talking for 21 minutes, and I don't want these lives to fall back into being 30, 40, 50 minutes like some of them were. But I wanted to give you some behind the scenes. I'm looking at my checklist here, okay? I'm looking over at my other screen, so I'm not ignoring you. Why reviews matter. Visibility grows when you're someplace where people can see you. You need to be where your people are, not create I love the landing page, and I was talking about that. But the problem is number one, and I've talked about this many, many times, you're asking somebody to make a buying decision in 20 seconds of having met you. They run a Facebook ad. They're like, oh, hey, that looks interesting. I'll go check it out. And then you give them this landing page, and maybe it's even a really super, those really annoying long landing pages that it takes you like 3 minutes to read the page. If it's a good enough offer, get it. But, we're asking people to create a whole entire relationship to essentially marry us when we're on our first phone call, not even our first date. Okay, let's go back to the concept of dating people before we get married. Okay, I know you can hook up without all those kind of things. I understand all that kind of stuff, but really, if you want the relationship to last, that's what you want to do. Your book is going to become discoverable when you do the SEO. I think I explained to you at least some, if not all, of the nuances of how the algorithm works. SEO, making use of the free days, having your book be on the bestseller list, constant, consistent visibility. That means sales. Okay? People need to be getting the books. And because 95% of all books are being sold off of Amazon, they need to be getting the book from Amazon. If they're getting them from your website, Amazon, as far as they're concerned, so somebody comes to your website and they follow this really great landing page. And then they get down to the end of it and they're like, well, before I do this, let me just go check this book. Let me see what people are saying about it. And they get to Amazon and you have no reviews, or you have a couple of really bad reviews. Either of those are going to kind of leave you. Okay. If the book came out 4 years ago and nobody's saying anything about it, if the book doesn't rank at all, okay, I've literally had this said about my own books. Okay, I'm preaching to my own choir. Okay, people will say, you say you're the expert at the thing, and yet you have books, and we could go through the whole list. Right now, every single one of them's ranking because right now every single one of them's free. And next week, if you go back and you look at some of them will pop back into ghosted obscurity because I give them to you for free this time of year and I don't do anything marketing wise with them. Some of them are legacy books, my 10 things you must have to succeed in life and business, which is the 10, we talked about all this, and I broke it out into a 10-book series. I don't really promote that book other than this one day out of the year or this one weekend out of the year. You can get all these books that are on that whole list for free. You can get them just by simply going to thrivingbestsellers.com/books. Give free books. And if you're an author and you've got an ebook, you make it for free, send me the link and I will post your book for free. Here's the biggest thing about visibility. It starts with generosity. My book, How Can I Help You Today, talks about radical generosity. And I expose to you the whole concept. And yes, you can get that book for free too. The whole concept of if you want to receive, you have to give first. You have to have your giving in place in order to receive. Yes, I know there are people who have made millions and billions of dollars. Why do you think most people that win the lottery lose all of it? It's because they don't understand radical generosity. Yeah, I understand all the craziness of the shopping and all those kind of things, but I promise you, if those people were radically generous to a fault, nature abhors a vacuum and it would have filled that gap. I know I'm going on and on. If you want your book added to the list, just drop a comment and let me know. I will totally add you for free because your message matters. Your story is so needed. We need to make sure the world can actually find you. This weekend, make use of the free day campaign. Let me add you to the list of the about 50 books. Last year, we made 65 authors. I'd have to go back and count how many books it was. We made them bestsellers. This year, we'll be over 50 books again that we make bestsellers over the course of this weekend. And including the whole entire month, we'll be close to, 40 or 50. And by the end of the 2-month period of, November and December, we will, have made more than 100 books. We'll make more bestsellers in these next, starting today. So basically this month, this next 30 days, we'll make more bestsellers than most marketing companies you've ever talked to, most marketers that are gurus and experts have ever done in their whole entire life. And we do it every single year this time of year. Okay, not to mention all the other books we've done. We want to be here to help you. So send me the link to your book for free and I will add it to the list. Absolutely. I look forward to seeing you be visible and valuable. I'm here for you. I appreciate you probably more than you'll ever know. I'm so glad that we got to spend some time together today. I'm sorry that I went a little longer than normal, but I think it was worth it. I hope that you're happy, safe, warm, and loved, that you do find some really amazingly great Black Friday specials, and that then you grab a whole bunch of free books that you can spend all season long reading. And then until we're together again next time, that you have a great week.